Hello, my name is Todd Silvius, and thanks for downloading this professional development video tutorial for the Compass Learning Odyssey platform. The previous tutorials have taken us through looking at the basal curriculum from the student profile. The most recent tutorial allowed us to see how to assign the customized curriculum from our Compass assignment archive. And again, the benefits of using the assignment archive customized curriculum versus just simply the basal curriculum. What we're going to do now is take a moment to jump into the student account and see what the archived curriculum looks like to the student. So I'm going to head over here and log out of my teacher account. And then head into my student account, my QC14. And in the previous example, we saw in the basal curriculum, we saw the same Algebra 1 icon, but it just said Algebra 1, and there was no gold ring behind it. However, now, with the assignment archive given to this student account, we can see that the word assignments is listed underneath it. And it does have this gold ring in the background. That's how the iconography needs to look for our student accounts. You can see geometry was assigned from the archive correctly as well. It has the word assignments and it has the gold ring behind it. Let's take a look at Algebra 1 first. As we expand here, the folder structure is set up so that it still allows the student to jump to whichever folder he or she needs for remediation. So let's pretend that today I was jumping in here for factoring polynomials. I was having a tough time with that. I really do need that introduction to factoring. That's what my teacher said I should go to. Okay, here I am as a student. I'm just going to try this quiz. Hey, when I click on it, it's not letting me in. No matter where I click, it's not an active link. But if I move my mouse over here, these are active. This level of the folder, unlike what we saw in the basal curriculum, this level of the folder enforces what is known as sequential navigation. In other words, this allows the student to start at the lesson and get to the quiz only after having watched the lesson and instruction. As far as the resource goes, this is that PDF file that we saw when we were looking at the teacher accounts as extra additional resources for teachers. If we click on this, it'll take us to the lesson as a student. Okay, and as I pay attention to that video and I watch the instruction and I take notes and I'm constantly checked for understanding with questions that happen periodically through the system, I can also download this resource and fill this out as an accompanying worksheet before I take my test or my quiz here. You also see this icon. This icon was absent in the basal curriculum as well. This icon is the decision point icon. This is the additional scripting that has been applied to all quizzes and tests in our archived curriculum that holds a kid to passing only by achieving a certain grade level and will allow the kid to do retakes. However, only 2 retakes until the kid is halted after 3 total unsuccessful attempts. And again, the student is halted and given a direction down here in this area of the screen that says Progress Alert, contact your teacher for directions. It says that in black and white down here. The student must then reach out to you and ask for direction as the teacher monitoring this course. Mr. Teacher, what would you like me to do? How should I proceed? And that is the decision point where the human needs to respond and say, look, you tried this so many times, Looks like the Cyber Ed component for this particular lesson just isn't floating your boat. I have some worksheets that we can work on together. Let's just not use Cyber for this particular chapter, and we'll use this resource at some other time in the future. Or, I saw you were doing really well. I saw your grades were improving as you tried the quiz attempts. I saw you even tried to do the resource, and you have those exercises for me to look over as well. I can count that as accompanying evidence if I needed to. So I will promote you out of this regardless of the grade that you received here, because I've been noting your improvement as I've been running your reports. Those are examples of types of scenarios that the teacher can have at that decision point the system brings the teacher and the student to. Geometry, the course is set up the same way. You can click into polygons or whatever area you want to. Target your instruction, but then when you get to the lesson and quiz folder, you're forced into sequential navigation. This sequential navigation allows the student to access the resources, listen to the lesson many times, in fact, because at the end of every lesson, the system asks the student, are you sure you are done with this? Or, wait, I need to see that again. I believe that's how the questions are actually phrased. The student has the ability to say, no, I need to see that again. And it will release the entire lesson to the student one more time before it activates the quiz link. However, at the end of the lesson, when it asks the student, do you think you have this? If the student says, yes, I've got this, a green check mark is placed over this lesson icon, and the green progress arrow promotes the student onto the next activity, which becomes a live link. And again, decision points are activated, allowing for multiple attempts, but stopping at 2 retakes if the retakes are unsuccessful. So that is a peer inside of the assigned curriculum that has been customized and is stored in our assignment archive for teachers to assign to students. This allows for to establish a grade threshold for the students, grants 2 retakes after the initial failure attempt on all assessments, and requires teacher intervention to step in and say, sometimes we do need to get away from this particular cyber unit. It's not working instructionally for our student. Let's go and work together, student with teacher, and find another way, perhaps a plan C for remediation that will help get the student moved to successful understanding of the curriculum. That's the end of this particular tutorial sequence here about the assignment archive. It was a 3-parter, so thank you for watching the 3 different parts, and you can understand and see the difference between assigning curriculum from the student profile screen number 3 versus correctly assigning our customized curriculum from our assignment archive in Compass. Thanks for watching.